Hello, this is Dr. Yoko channel. This channel is about how to prevent disease and what chronic disease is. To know is very important and the first step. Let's study together. Today I'll talk about milk and dairy product. Many people believe that milk is a healthy food, especially for bone and calcium intake. It was said in some field that milk is not healthy food, such as cancer risk and neuroinflammation and dysbiosis or allergy. But many people don't believe the theory, and they give us the proof or where is evidence. So there are already reported the evidence, but the magazines was not so major. There are books about milk and books wheat, but until now there was no book about both of them together. I wrote this book because there is no book about wheat and milk. And I also wrote about rice as an alternative to wheat. Milk is not a healthy food, so it's a problem to drink it every day, to have it in school lunches, and to force people to drink it for health. Bread has a lot of additives, and wheat has a lot of problems, even domestic production. Some bread, even grain bread, can cause health problems. Wheat is an inflammatory substance and also has gluten issues. But many people, if I say the milk is not a healthy food, they say, "Oh, you're a liar. Give me the evidence." And I showed some reports or the magazine or the articles, but they don't believe it. But February in 2020, widely respected and renowned American journal, the New England Journal of Medicine, published Milk and Health as review article. Milk is a not healthy food. According to this article, first, milk consumption increased height 2007, 2009, and 2012. Studies showed that high milk intake increased height regardless of other nutrient status, including the effect on the fetus during maternal pregnancy. Height does not seem any problem, but height correlated with cancer, hip fractures, and pulmonary emboli. They explain high intake milk increase the number of hip fractures. Among men, milk intake during adolescence is linearly associated with a 9% greater risk of hip fracture later in life for every additional glass consumed per day. And many people believe calcium is very important for bone, but calcium intake does not prevent fractures in women or men. There is an interesting study. United States suggests calcium intake amounts 700 to 1003 mg per day, but by contrast, Peruvian men with low habitual calcium intake, they are approximately 200 mg per day, a finding consistent with the ability of the body to greatly upregulate absorption when dietary calcium is low. What do you think? And there is another study, milk consumption and fracture. So this figure showed Scandinavian countries with high milk consumption. Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland also have a high rate of proximal femur fractures. Asian countries with low milk consumption, Indonesia, Malaysia, China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, has few more fractures. At least we can say low consumption have a fewer fracture. And this paper also says milk intake increases cancer. The correlation has been found in prostate cancer, endometrial cancer, ovarian cancer, and colorectal cancer. And they also mentioned about milk and allergies. Milk-linked atopic tendencies, asthma, and food allergies. In a double-blind crossover study of children with intolerance to cow's milk, about 65% children had a reduction in symptoms when they consumed soy milk instead of cow milk. And also they mentioned milk and total mortality. In a recent analysis of 3 large cohorts with more than 30 years of follow-up, whole milk was associated with higher total mortality. I don't want to say milk product is too bad, because you can notice consumption of dairy food was associated with lower mortality than consumption of processed red meat and eggs. I think the processed food is the worst protein. The milk has a lot of problem because milk is for baby cow to grow 1 kilogram per day. So they contain IGF-1 and of course a female hormone, and also may contain many environmental poisons, especially from pregnant cows. And also the milk product, dairy product, to process of food is very big problem, such as high temperature sterilization and homogenization. And many people said, how about the grass-fed cow's milk? And there is still no evidence of grass-fed, which is not antibiotics, the very low risk of the IGF-1 or the female hormone. If the grass-fed cows are pregnant, they have a lot of hormone already. So I think milk is not a healthy food. You don't have to force to drink. Please enjoy like a snack or the sweets. Please remember, milk is not a healthy food. Thank you for watching.